Hi guys, welcome back to the Ratchet Christian. My name is Esmao and I am the Ratchet Christian. I got my power suit on today, so you know I'm getting ready to drag you properly. It's a proper dragging outfit. I'm kidding. I'm not getting ready to drag you. I'm getting ready to drag us, me included. Because I want us to think about, and you to think about, are you toxic? Like, are you the toxic person in relationships? I know since I've started this relationship series or ministry, whatever it's going to morph into, I've talked a lot about the other person and what to look for in the other person, what to not accept from another person. But what about you? You know, what about us? What about me? I never want us to make the assumption that the other person is always the problem, because if you think about it, or at least when I thought about it, the one common denominator in all my relationships, the one constant thing was me. You know what I mean? In all the relationships that I had that didn't work out with different people, the one thing that remained the same was the fact that I was in them. You know, I was the common denominator, and I had to figure out what role did I play in these relationships going the way that they did. Taking a self-inventory, like just having a moment of honesty with yourself, like, okay, this relationship didn't work out with this person, that relationship didn't work out with that person, this relationship didn't go well with that person. Why? Or maybe this relationship went really good with that person. You know, I had the best relationships with this person and that person. Why? You know, taking the time to really sit and reflect on what worked and what didn't, you know, and what part you played in what worked and what didn't. And it just boils down to taking personal accountability. When a relationship falls apart, not one person is always to blame. So the blame may not all be yours. You may be watching this and you may feel like, oh, it's all my fault. Like, I wish I was still with that person. If I would have done this, I would have done that. But the blame isn't 100% yours, and the blame isn't 100% belonging to the other person. It's 50-50. We all play different roles in relationships, and different roles in how those turn out. And so taking the time to figure out why. You know, like what went wrong, and how can I not make that same mistake? How can I not continue to choose these types of people or choose this type of patterns in relationships has been helpful for me. Yes, taking personal accountability requires you to just really be honest with yourself. I think I talk a lot about, you know, just not tolerating bad treatment from people. And I think it's because I've had to learn that people treat you the way that you allow them to. It really is that simple. Now, I didn't like that saying because I feel like it would like kind of hurt my feelings, but it's true. You know, what you allow is what continue. Like what you accept from people is what continue, you know. In one of my relationships, I had an ex that just like talked to me crazy, like would just talk down at me and like cut me down with his words, tell me what I'm not, what I am, what I'm not gonna be, how much better he is than me, like, and I would just sit there and take it. And it continued, you know, and I wish in those moments I would have stood up for myself. But looking back on that relationship, I have worked on that part of myself where I don't allow people to talk to me just crazy. Like, I tell you guys all the time, like, I'm a words person. Like, you gotta talk to me nice. You know, you can't be just throwing insults and all the things, like, but I had to learn that from a past relationship that, you know, like somebody talking to me in a way that's unkind is just something that I absolutely don't tolerate. And when I've entered situations with new people and I even get like a little bit of them wanting to talk to me crazy, I'm just like, we're not doing that. You know, I just shut it down right away because I've learned from the past, like what I allowed is what continued. And so you may not be able to help how people are treating you, but you can put your foot down and be like, hey, I'm not going to allow this. You know, you could take personal responsibility of the situation and not allow things to continue. You don't like it when he calls you at 3 a.m. asking you to come over for sex because you would rather him text you for dinner. Tell him that. You don't like the fact that she's always, you know, asking you to take her out to eat and paying for her friends, but then when you ask her to come watch you play basketball, she doesn't show up. Tell them that, you know, and let them know, like, look, I'm not going to keep doing this with you. I'm not going to keep doing that with you, because it's like you can't blame somebody else for taking advantage of you if you let them, you know. Again, it's about taking personal accountability. How are you allowing people to treat you? You know, how are you allowing people to talk to you? Because one way or another, we allow it. So, yes. Also, we show people how to treat us. If we're unkind to ourselves, that gives other people permission to be unkind to us. You know what I mean? If we're not respectful to ourselves, if we don't like ourselves, it feels like somebody else is doing us such a favor by liking us and by being around us, you know? But it's like when you genuinely like and care for yourself and respect for yourself and have respect for yourself, you're going to demand that of other people. You know what I mean? Because anybody else coming into your life when you already love and care for yourself is a bonus. But if you don't love and care for yourself and somebody comes into your life that does, you know, you're willing to accept so much more from them because they're giving you something that you don't have. But if I love myself, if I care for myself and I respect myself, and somebody comes into my life and they're not willing to do all those things, you ain't gotta be here, because all these things are already provided by me. But it didn't used to always be that way, you know what I mean? It took those series of bad relationships to get to that point of like, okay, like I have to boss up, I have to do better, I have to raise my self-esteem, I need to be more confident so I can stop attracting these types of toxic people, but also knowing that I myself had my own toxic behaviors that qualified me for a toxic man. You know, I was jealous and insecure and I wouldn't say crazy. I was never the type of girl that was like crazy. Never cared enough to like be like, I'm gonna stab you. But I just qualified for unhealthy people because I was an unhealthy person. So if you're attracting a lot of toxic people, you may just be a toxic person. Like if you're attracting a lot of abusive people, you have to see like, what is it in me that people like this are attracted to me? You know, what is it in me that makes me put up with these types of abusive behaviors? You know what I mean? And so what can you do to improve on yourself, to work on yourself? If you are toxic and you know it, the first thing is to like take accountability of the fact, you know, and take responsibility of like, you know what, like I am a little toxic. Like I do listen to too much City Girls and Meg Thee Stallion, and I do sometimes treat men bad, you know what I mean? Like I've had to have moments to myself where I'm just like, I'm not kind and empathetic to men. You know, I didn't used to be. I'm working better on being more respectful and kind and empathetic, but I used to be like, whatever, like men don't have it hard. But I'm trying to be better about that because men listen to this channel too, and I love and appreciate the men and women that watch. It means so much to me. So yeah, taking responsibility of the fact that I'm not always kind to men, so I can't sit here and complain about men not always being kind to me. You know, I had to realize that I have a lot of like attachment and bonding things where I can just be like detached, or either I like you too much, or I don't like you enough, or if somebody is like really interested in me, I'm not interested in them, you know, like pursuing men who I feel like I have to chase. Like all these things I had to realize like, okay, this is a part of my attachment issues. This comes from my childhood and the things that I've been through, you know what I mean? And going to therapy for those things. I'm a big supporter of going to therapy. Guys, we love Jesus on this channel. I know you love Jesus, you know God, you love God, but you can love Jesus and have a therapist too. God can give us the tools that we need. Prayer is amazing, and prayer solves a lot of things, but an answer to a prayer may just be God telling you to go to therapy. A lot of men need therapy. A lot of guys out there, y'all need therapy. Y'all's moms like decimated you. And it's not fair for a woman to come into your life and have to raise you from a child up and then be able to date you. You need to take personal accountability for your own trust issues, for your own things that you've gone through in your life, and seek therapy to heal before you try to bring that into somebody else's life and make it their problem. That's not fair. You have to do your work. You know, because I've done my work, I'm not willing to date somebody who hasn't done their work. I have worked on myself. I have cried. I have prayed. I have fasted. I've gone to therapy. I've read all the books. I've done all the things to improve my life and to be better because I want to be a better person so I can be in a better, healthier relationship and bring positivity into people's lives. Relationships can't always be, what can this person do for me? You have to think about, what am I bringing to the table? You know, like, am I bringing a whole bunch of trust issues from my ex and baggage and all these things? Because you might end up with the same result if you go into a relationship and you're not healed from the last one. So do what you need to do to work on your crap. Go to therapy, pray, talk to God about it. Build your relationship with God. You know, the best thing I did for myself after getting out of like just toxic situations was building my relationship with God. Like after I just finally gave up, like, God, like this is stressing me out. Like, just trying to do this whole love thing is just making me depressed. And just really surrendering my life to God, like that just like really changed things for me. And I just think it'll really change things for you if you just pray more and talk to God about the things that go on in your life that make you crazy and make you toxic, because God knows you. He has the owner's manual to how he created you, and he can help you unlock some of those things that have kept you trapped in certain behaviors. So spending time with God, building a relationship with God, going to therapy if you feel like you need it, and self-care, taking care of yourself, treating yourself the way that you like others to treat you. I speak kindly to myself because I don't like people speaking unkindly to me. I take myself out because I like to go out. Like, all the things that I'm wanting and requiring from somebody, I do for myself as well, you know, so I'm not just sitting around with my arms crossed waiting for somebody to come in and save the day. I already do those things for myself, you know, so somebody else coming into my life is only going to make it better, you know what I mean, and just accompany me and compliment me and all the things that I'm already doing. When you're loving yourself and doing for yourself the things that you're expecting others to do, it just creates like so much of a healthier space for somebody else to come in, because you're not coming in at like a deficit, like, oh, I need you to complete me, I need you to make me feel happy, I need you to give me confidence and self-esteem. Because if somebody gives you all those things, that means they can also take it. You know, if somebody gives you confidence and somebody gives you self-esteem, somebody gives you love, when they're not in the picture, those things are gone. And so that's why we may hold on to negative and toxic people, because they provide for us things that we don't give ourselves. But if we give those things ourselves, then people can go, you know, when you see that, you know what, it's not healthy for me and it's not healthy for them. Lastly, just to sum it up, if you're toxic, maybe take a break from dating, you know, because of that saying that's like hurt people. So if you're hurt, you just got out of a relationship, yet you're talking to people, you're online dating, you're texting your ex, you're doing all these things, you're not healed yet, you know, you're still not all the way whole, and you're trying to go into another situation, and that's not the healthiest thing to do. Take a break from dating. Take a break. You need a break. Take a break. You know, you can't play 20 basketball games back to back without a break. What makes you think you can go into 20 different relationships back to back? You need a break, sir. Leave those girls on Instagram alone. You need a break. Give it a break. You know, you too, girl, give it a rest. See what it feels like to be single just for a little bit. See what it feels like for your phone to be dry just a little bit. I promise you it's not bad. Being single is really sweet. You just get to know yourself so much more, and it just is beautiful, you know? So yeah, guys, that wasn't too much of a dragging, you know, just some tough, honest love, because other people aren't always the problem. You know, whenever you're pointing a finger at somebody else, there's four pointing back at you. So you have to turn the mirror towards you and see what roles that you're playing in these situations in order to move forward. So I thank you guys for watching. Please make sure that you like and you comment and subscribe and share this video with 2 or 3 friends, and let me know what you think. Thank you, and have the best day ever. Bye, and Happy New Year's, and I hope your Christmas was amazing, and I'll see you next year. I'll see you next year, because you get it like next year is... Okay, whatever. It was funny. All right, bye, guys.